All right, and keep on breathing. So in, facing forward, and out to the side. And blow out so hard, like you're trying to blow someone over next to you. In, facing forward, and out to the side. 3 more, focusing on the breathing. All righty, now we're gonna do our neck rolls, so we can bend our neck forward, and we're gonna use the top of our head to draw a big circle. One direction, and you can change direction whenever you want to. And remember to keep breathing and draw your circles as big as you can. Great job. All right. And now we're gonna do our normal cat-cow. So we're gonna go on our hands and our knees. And we're gonna start by bending like this, trying to get our foreheads and our butts to touch the ground almost, and our back to touch the ceiling. And you can lean your butt back a little bit if you want to. And then we're gonna do the opposite. So head to the ceiling, butt to the ceiling, and your stomach down to the ground. And if you wanna get a little extra stretch, you can wag your tail a little bit, very slowly and calmly. Great job. And now we're gonna go butt to the ground, head to the ground, and back to the ceiling. And remember to keep doing deep breaths. All right, and one more time. Head and butt to the ceiling, stomach to the ground, and you can wag your tail a little bit if you want to. You do not have to. Great job. All righty. Now we're going to, either sitting down or standing up, do big arm circles. So just make sure there's nothing that you're gonna hit. And we're gonna go ahead and draw big circles with our arms. And you can start out going forward. And if you feel your arms getting a little bit tired, feel free to switch direction and go backwards. Great job. All righty. And then we're just gonna do our shoulder stretches. So we start by hugging one arm really close to our chest. So take your one hand, reach across your body, and hug it to your chest. And you can do a couple of deep breaths while you're here. And then we'll switch. So then this arm, the other arm is gonna reach across your body and you're gonna hug it to your chest. And do a couple of deep breaths right here as well. All right, and now take one hand, reach behind your head and touch your shoulder. And then put the other hand on your elbow and you can lean to the side a little bit. And do one deep breath. And then we're gonna switch and we're gonna use our other hand, put it on the back of our shoulder, other hand on our elbow, and we can lean. And do 2 deep breaths. All right, and you can just kind of shake your arms loose now. All right, so we've done quite a few weeks of exercises, and each week we did some new ones. But a really important part of working out is it's important to do things multiple times and try them again. So I'm going to keep introducing a couple of new exercises, but you're going to start seeing exercises you might already know, and that is fine. All right. So the first one we're going to do is some side lunges. All right. So with the side lunges, you're going to stand up, take one foot, reach all the way to the side. So you're standing really far apart. And then you're going to kind of sit like you're sitting in a chair over only one leg. And the other leg is just going to be kind of straight out on the ground. All right. And then you can step back straight up again. Take your other foot, step wide, kind of sit in a chair over that leg, and then leave this leg straight. You can also kind of think of it kind of like skiing, like that motion. But what we need to make sure we do is in between, we stand up straight like this. Take our other foot, big step wide, and sit over that leg. And if you can't really do it to the side and you just want to do a center squat like that, that is okay too. All righty. So we're going to take them nice and slow. So ready? Big step out. Sit in your imaginary chair and stand up straight again. Big step out. Sit in the imaginary chair. Stand up straight again. All right, we're going to do 5 on each side. 2. And if you're having difficulty getting all the way back up, push off with this leg when you're standing up, and it'll help you get back to this point. Great job. Just a couple more on each side. You got this. And if this feels really easy, you can make your imaginary chair lower and sit in it for a longer time. Or if it's too hard, you can make your imaginary chair higher and not sit as far down. All righty, one more on each side. Great job. You can do a couple of deep breaths. Shake out your legs a little bit if you want to. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some high knees. So this one, you can do it whatever pace you want. So if you're looking for kind of a cardio workout and to start breathing hard, you can go really fast like this, like you're running in place, right? Or if you're just trying to get the motion, you can go a little bit slower, like you're marching in place. Either is fine, whatever you can do. And if that motion is too difficult, you can always be sitting down and just lift your knees and your feet however you want, all right? So together, let's do your high knees at whatever pace you want to. So faster is a little bit trickier, but you can definitely do it, all of you, all right? So I'm gonna go at this pace, I think, to start. And you can always go faster or slower if you want to. So I might switch to running. And remember, the goal is to pick up your knees really high. So if you're having tricky, difficulties with it, you can put your hands out kind of in front of you and try to get your knees to hit your hands. Great job, everybody. Five more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. All righty. And if you're going fast, you might be a little bit tired out by that, so you can do a couple of deep breaths. In and out. Great job, everybody. Alrighty. And you can always get water if you need it. And now we're going to sit down on the ground and we're going to do Russian twists. And this is one that I think we've already done, but it's where you sit right here. Your feet can be on the ground and you just lean back a little bit. And if you lean back really far, it gets hard. And if you only lean back a little bit, it's a little bit easier. And then what you do, you pretend you have like an imaginary ball or something, and you touch the ground on your left, and then you touch the ground on your right. And you can lean back a little bit more if you want, or a little bit less, up to you. All right, and we're all gonna do this together. And you can go a little bit faster if you want to, or slower, whatever's comfy for you. Some people, when they're doing this, their tailbone is on like a hard surface and that can hurt. So if you have a little butt pillow or cushiony rug, that can sometimes help with this one. And if you can, try to keep yourself looking up towards the ceiling so that you're straight and your chest is open. And just make sure to try to touch the side every single time with both hands. Great job. And we have about 5 more seconds left, so lean back a little bit further if you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job, everybody. All righty, now we can do a quick breather before we do our cool down. So we're gonna go in, out, in, out. All righty. You guys should all know our normal cool down by now. We're gonna start by standing up and we just fold our bodies over and make a little U. And then we swing like this. And we just try to relax everything. So we want our head to relax and kind of fall towards the ground. And we want everything to just kind of let go a little bit. Alrighty, you can stand up and take your feet and spread them out a little bit more. And go back down. And slowly rotate. However's comfy for you. If you're finding that one position feels a little bit tight, you can hold it there for a second and see if anything loosens up. But if anything at any point feels like it really hurts, you definitely want to stop doing that, so don't push it too far. All right, stand up, and one last time, we're gonna spread out our legs even more. And we're gonna go down and we're gonna hang. And if you can try to touch either your knees or the ground. You're welcome to bend your knees if you need to. Whatever works for you. And remember to keep breathing even when you're right here. All righty. And now we can stand back up. Next, we're gonna do our knee hugs and back release. So we're just gonna be sitting right here. And we can do whatever we want with our other leg, but this leg, we're gonna take it and we're gonna hug it as tight to our chest as we can. And remember, you can do some deep breaths here as well. If you're not feeling much of a stretch, you can try leaning back with your leg a little bit more. For about 5 more seconds. Great work. Now we're going to take our other leg and we can hug it really tight to our chest as well. And again, if you're not feeling much of a stretch when you're sitting straight up, you can kind of lean back and hug it tight to your chest still. And that can give you a little extra stretch. Great, and for anyone who wants to try a variation of this one, you can always do the ones where you're just going to be lying down on the ground and you take one leg and you put it over your body and then you look in the opposite direction. And this one will help stretch the same part of your butt, but it also helps your back a little bit. And you can switch legs. Great work. All righty. Now we're going to do our child's pose and cobra. So that's the one where we're going to start kind of curled into a ball on the ground. And we can just kind of relax everything. And we should just kind of feel like we're slowly melting on the floor. And if you want, you can put your hands out and walk them out a little bit. And this will help stretch your back a little extra if you need that. And then we're going to switch to cobra. So we're going to lie down on our stomachs, and then either we can put our elbows and our hands on the ground like this, or we can put our hands only on the ground and push up. So we're like a cobra. And remember to do a couple of deep breaths. If you're in this position and you feel like you can't really breathe, then I would go to the lower one like this, because it's important to be able to do those breaths. And you can kind of wiggle around a little bit and hiss like a snake if you want to. Great work. And we can let ourselves back down and go back to child's pose for a second. And we're just gonna feel like we're an ice cube melting on the floor. So just anything that feels really tight or hard right now, try to let it just heat up and relax. Sometimes with this one, you feel a lot of tension in your back right here. And that is okay. If you need to, you can put your hands on it and rub your back a little bit. Totally up to you, whatever feels comfortable. And we'll stay in this one for about 5 more seconds. All righty. All right. Now we're going to do our baby pose. So we're going to lie down on our back, and we can either take our knees in our hands and pull them to our sides a little bit, not so much that it hurts, or we can take our feet in our hands and pull it, and we can do little kicks with our feet if we want to. Whatever's comfortable, and you should kind of be stretching the insides of your legs right here while you're doing that. We're going to hold this one for a couple more seconds. Great work. And then I'm actually going to add a new cool down stretch. And this one is a calf stretch. So what you're going to do with this one is you're going to find any wall or whatever you need, and you're going to take one foot and kind of put it behind you, and the other foot will be in front of you. So you're kind of just standing like this, all right? You know what you're gonna do is you're gonna have a wall in front of you and you're going to push on the wall. And you're just gonna push on the wall like you're trying to just push the wall, like push straight through it, all right? And so this one's gonna stretch this part of your leg, your calf. So you wanna make sure that your heel and your toes stay flat on the ground. You don't wanna point your toe like this or let anything come up, all right? So we're gonna put 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, hands on the wall, and then we're gonna push it for a while, all right? So we're gonna go like this, and then you just push on the wall. And if you're not feeling much of a stretch, you can shift your hips forward a little bit. And that means like bend this knee, kind of shift closer to the wall, and you'll feel a little bit more stretch in your calf. But just push on the wall as hard as you possibly can. And we're gonna do it for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we can stand up, shake it out a little bit, and we're gonna switch. So the leg that was back before is now going in front. The leg that was in front can go backwards. And we lean forward and push the wall. And remember, if you're not feeling much, you can shift your hips forward a little bit more. But of course, if you're feeling any pain and like at all in the back of your leg, you definitely want to push a little bit less. You can walk your foot forward a little bit if this is too hard. Like if your calves are a little too tight, you can walk your foot forward. But you don't want to push it if it hurts, because then you could end up hurting yourself. And we're gonna go for 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, and this one, sometimes your arms get a little tired, so you can just kind of shake them out like this, however you need to. And I think that's it for the day.
Thank you, Callie,
Thank you,
for
everybody.
class.